All right, well, with the holidays upon us, we also have the new year also just around the corner. And rather than talking about resolutions, because none of us really keep them anyways, let's talk about trends. Who wants to start? Blair, come on, you're to my left. Let's start. Okay. So we've all chosen. I think I will say it's really interesting to when I kind of put it out there. What do you think is going to happen for the 2014? Everyone chose very different topics, so it shows how diversified we are and connected as a team. Really well-rounded.
Yeah, I think
gaming, nerdy stuff to Blair.
Well, don't preface it with that.
Well, that's what it is.
It's not. It's technology. So I think the 2014 is going to be the year of the next gen console when you're talking about PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and how it's going to be like an all-encompassing sort of, they want to turn your living room into an entertainment epicenter, essentially. So you can do, you can do your Netflix, you can do your gaming, you can have voice commands, you can have games where you move and play, and it's just going to be like a non-stop shop of entertainment. And I think it's going to be
all on your tube TV? Because I've got one of those old.
First of all, don't admit that, and no, probably not. I'll just buy you a TV for Christmas, and then you can play.
Okay, but I feel like they have all those things already. So what's the next generation about it?
The fact is, it's just they're using the highest technology.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek regular versus Star Trek The Next Generation.
Oh, that's so much clearer
The Next Generation is so much better.
Yeah. It's just completely different. I had a photo of.
Do you guys just want a moment?
Yeah, really.
It's okay. I have more nerdy stuff to talk about too. I hadn't even told you guys yet.
I had a photo actually on my Facebook page the other day, and Jess was snooping on my computer and noticed it. She's like, "Wow, that's a really great photo." And the graphics are so advanced, you couldn't even tell that it was all graphics.
I thought it was a photo.
Like it's literally like they're putting you right into it. Like you are becoming that person. It's a very good. They're really mastering a lot of. It sounds like weird, but they're like taking months to master like a raindrop. So then a raindrop looks like a real raindrop, and it's just the technology is like vastly beyond I think what they ever thought console gaming would be. Wow, that even sounded dorky as it came out of my mouth.
Speaking of dorky, I'm kind of being a little dorky. I do not play games, but in the new year we'll have a really cool story on the Oculus Rift.
Oh yeah.
And it is actually, I tried it, and it is pretty cool. And it's the same lines.
The 3D helmet?
Yeah, I know. So you got to have bad hair to start off with because it wrecks the hair. But it is so cool.
Well, maybe that's the new hair trend in 2014.
So.
The flattened
Oculus
hair.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue. Yeah, but it's super cool, and I know that you two will love it. It's like you turn your head, everything, like you are in the world of
Maybe
whatever.
we're in it right now.
Cool. It is.
Does it make you sick? Like you don't? I feel like I would get motion sickness.
Yeah, like when that's like they're testing it, and.
Why do you laugh at that?
Well, seriously, if you have it on, and it's what happens is that if there's moving objects and you kind of go to that, and the other stuff is still moving around it, that's when you get the vertigo and stuff like that. If they have it where you're driving through. The countryside in Italy, like in a car and the winding roads and everything, and that's so they're working on things like that. But yeah, it's not going to be maybe for everybody, but the whole experience, like we'll have dummied down versions for those of us that need the slower ride.
Perfect.
And then there's the thrill ride for the.
So what is it? What is for everybody, or what is it in the fashion world? What do you? Well,
fashion. Speaking of fashion, hair.
Oh.
Hair is going to be a trend? Great. Everyone should have it.
Hair is going to be a trend.
I'm going to lose mine.
Well, you know what? It's interesting to see that for women, the hair trends really haven't changed that much, that it's really sort of like anything goes, or what looks good on you, besides color. Colors will always be important. But for guys, I think it's going to be like shaving it all off. Ooh. Let's not be afraid. And
I'm a little afraid. This is gigantic.
Well, keep the hair.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we're going to see a lot more bald men.
Well, what was big though last year was that you'd see a woman who had she had the gorgeous hair on this side, and then one whole side of her head was like shaved. That was really big this year, and it's really cool. I didn't think I would like it, and it was really neat. So let's see what the future holds.
And fashion, I think for women, and we're going to head into menswear.
Really?
The return of the pantsuit.
The pantsuit.
Oh, yeah.
The suspenders.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And a tie. Yeah.
Are there suspenders being, or is that how people are going to be serving up your food this year?
I don't know. Toronto. I'll have to wear the pantsuit
Yes.
to the newest restaurant. Yeah, I was thinking about the new Deer and Almond restaurant. It's called Raw, right? And then the other day we were looking at the restaurant in the sky. So I'm wondering where are more.
where they like lift up people? They have this.
Yes. So a restaurant on the river, a restaurant in the sky. Where else are we going to see restaurants this year? Any predictions?
Well,
Anywhere you would like to see a restaurant?
Seeing the trend come back, we are back to revolving restaurants. now.
Yes, see?
Because there's nothing I want to do more when I'm chowing down is to have the building spin around. That sounds
really cool.
awesome.
It is
And
cool
one
though.
of my
yeah.
favorite restaurants in Toronto. Well, it's not really a restaurant, but it's the Snakes and Lattes. Like, you know, where you're combining like coffee and
Yeah.
drinks with tons and tons of board games. So that's neat to have
about the
destination
We need,
experience.
but we need to have a Dave and Buster's before we have anything else in Winnipeg, which is like Chuck E. Cheese plus a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we did.
Plus a bar.
That's true. Yeah.
Drink. You could drink at Chuck E. Cheese.
All right.
I just love how.
Nerd number
Well,
two.
nerd
sorry.
number two. Well, and this goes like super nerd almost because I'm not talking about consoles, but I read an article the other day just talking about how China just landed on the moon.
Right.
And anytime someone goes to the moon, goes to a place, it almost starts a space race, which actually just propels technology. Actually, beyond it's usually it's sometimes for war, but you know it's well beyond that. And so I think like this year we're gonna start seeing a lot bigger things in technology than just a gaming system. But I don't actually know what it is. Maybe it's like cybernetics in your skull or something like that.
Isn't that true that a lot of these technologies did come out of war or space? I mean,
Well, it's like in Star Trek. They walk to the door, the
spin-offs.
door's open. We have that now,
At Walmart.
right? Yeah.
And Tim Hortons now. Tim Hortons? Yes. What? Yes. Michael Byfield, one of the
Like,
shooters
does it
here,
again.
made us stop at Tim Hortons the other day so you could try out the sliding doors.
Michael Byfield. That was a moment. He took that time out.
So for Christmas, he's hoping for a life. That's what he wants.
Well, Michael Byfield will have no interest in what my trend prediction is for the year. But for fitness trends, there's a lot of talk about high interval training, things like CrossFit. They're predicting that that's going to continue to be popular. Yoga still hits the mark on all those things. What I find really interesting about a lot of the newer things that seem to be sticking is that they're combination pieces. And I think that they get too complicated for some people. Like it can be difficult to keep up sometimes if it's not repetitive, but then repetitive is boring. But what I think is going to happen is there's going to continue to be a huge interest in things like the swamp donkeys and the mud runs and stuff like that. Taking things that everyone can kind of do, running, it's a pretty simple thing, but taking a simple workout, but then making it kind of fun and adding an element of excitement.
And this links
right?
into next console gaming. It goes full circle.
And this is like in the 70s when they came out with the clock radio.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
clock radio, that's what we're ending, the clock radio.
But that's the thing is it's one of those things where I think fitness is going is now people are so like, I don't want to do fitness, that they're coming out with ways to trick you into doing fitness without knowing you're actually doing
like
it.
the Wii,
And
yeah.
it totally works, right? You talk about the Wii, you talk about all these
That
PlayStation
doesn't work.
moves.
I see people play the Wii and they can do it on their couch with a full
There are workout things you can use.
Yeah,
but
you can be lazy if you want, but if you actually wanted to commit to something on a video game console, you can actually go do the work.
And you can do, like,
it's like any job.
yeah, you can do UFC workouts and stuff on there. But that's the thing is all those events that you're talking about, they're whether it's a zombie run or running through the mud or color me rad, all this kind of stuff, you're encouraging people to exercise just by having fun. And I think sometimes what happens is people forget that there's a link between exercise and having fun. It's not just like going sweat, feeling awful, then feeling good, and then the next day people don't go back because they're like, I don't want to do the sweat part.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can convince them to go without,
It's all
hard
about
work.
trickery.
yeah.
It's all about having fun.
What about dessert roller coasters?
You
Can
know
we make that
what?
happen?
That sounds like a great topic for next week. Dessert roller coasters. Ponder it over the Christmas holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. Have a great time with your friends and family.
Happy holidays to everybody out there too. Be happy and safe.